Welcome to the Adventure Library, a place where stories from every world come alive. Whether you're falling asleep, driving, working, or simply seeking calm, these tales are here for you, wherever your journey takes you. Previously, we walked beneath starlight, through the burrows, the forests of the elves, and the realms of men and wizards. We learned of harmony, of beauty, and of the light that once filled Low Realm. But even the brightest songs cast shadows. Today we journey deep into those shadows, to the places forgotten by the sun, where the light of creation faded and cruelty began its work. This is the tale of corruption and endurance, the tale of beings twisted from beauty into something darker. Let us journey together as we open the pages of our next story, Forged in Darkness, The Rise of the Orcs. Chapter 1. The Light Before Shadow. Long before the first orc drew breath, Low Realm was young, untouched by fear or ruin. The stars shone with unwavering clarity, casting silver paths across rivers and forests. The elves, the firstborn, walked beneath them, their laughter blending with the rustle of leaves, the soft glimmer of dew, and the quiet song of streams. The forests of Irendor shimmered with silver dew at dawn. The waters of Lunafen mirrored the light of the heavens, reflecting the joy and innocence of the first days of the world. There was no war, no hunger, no shadow pressing against the land. Yet, even in this perfection, a whisper of unease stirred across the mountains and valleys. Malgor, once counted among the divine, turned from harmony to envy. From his northern fortress of Varith, he gazed upon the elves and felt only jealousy and bitterness. Even the rivers seemed to carry subtle hints of change, murmuring through forests, as though sensing the shadow to come. And so began the first corruption, not of earth or sky, but of spirit. Where beauty and joy thrived, darkness waited. Chapter 2. The Captives of Darkness. In those early years, many elves wandered too far into the wilds never to return. Legends whispered that some heard calls they should not have, voices from the north that promised secrets but delivered only chains. Deep within Malgor's dungeons, the fair and free were captured. The songs that once lifted hearts to the stars became cries in the shadows. Pain, fear, and despair were the raw materials Malgor used to shape a new race, mockeries of the elves. Their eyes adapted to darkness. Their skin grew rough, pale, and hardened. Their tongues, once filled with delicate song, twisted into snarls and curses. These were the first orcs, beings forged in shadow, shaped by iron, fire, and cruelty. They were not born, they were made, from anguish, from envy, from a love of darkness. Even as they were transformed, echoes of the elf's spirit lingered, like faint stars behind storm clouds, glimpses of what they once were, trapped beneath layers of malice. Some orcs would stumble through the holes, pausing for moments of what seemed like thought or hesitation, a fleeting memory of the life that had been stolen from them. Chapter 3. The Servants of the Iron Crown. Malgor's empire spread, vast and unyielding. Endless forges burned in mountains. Rivers of molten rock coursed through the halls, and the orcs learned discipline in cruelty. They marched through forests, swept across plains, and burned villages where laughter once lived. They learned to kill, to destroy, to dominate, not out of love for evil, but out of fear and necessity. Strongholds of darkness grew beneath the earth, Blackspire, Vorinth, and secret halls unknown to the free peoples. Hammering, clanging, roaring fires, these became the orcs' song, the rhythm of their existence. Yet even in shadow, they endured. When Malgor was finally cast into the void by the combined forces of elves, men, and Lavania, the orcs were left without direction, masterless, chaotic, but not defeated. Darkness had trained them, and they survived. Some orcs would gather in quiet corners, whispering names of masters long gone, clinging to rituals older than they understood, a fleeting loyalty to something beyond their comprehension. Chapter 4: The Heir of Evil. From the ashes of Malgor's fall, one name rose above all others: Zarok. Once the lieutenant of Malgor, he had learned the art of patience, deceit, and domination. While the world breathed relief, Zarok observed silently, waiting for opportunity. Every whisper, every shadow, every weakness in the hearts of men, elves, and dwarves became his lesson. He found the orcs scattered, aimless, fearful, remnants of a broken first age. Yet, in their eyes, he saw potential, raw and unshaped, and he gave them purpose. Under his command, they became an army once more. Their broken tongues were reshaped into the dark tongue of the abyss, harsh and commanding, echoing the will of their master. Their forges blazed, crafting weapons designed to terrify, to dominate, to conquer. The dark tower of Zarok rose, black and unyielding, a monument of shadow and iron. The eye, ever watchful, spanned mountains and plains, searching, calculating. Zarok's subtle will twisted fear, loyalty, and obedience into a living machine of destruction, each thread pulled carefully to bind his servants. Even the smallest orcs felt the surge of power and meaning, a terrible purpose that made them march faster, work harder, and follow without question. They learned to spec strength, to fear defiance, and to revel in the work of shadow. Every dawn was filled with drills, every dusk with the echoes of hammer on metal, a rhythm that became their new heartbeat. Chapter 5: The Fire That Shapes the World. To understand the orcs is to understand the sorrow from which they were born. Every sword they forged, every wall they tore down, carried the memory of stolen light and broken song. Beneath the layers of rage and cruelty, fragments of the elvish spirit sometimes surfaced, small, fleeting, almost forgotten. The orcs laughed at what they no longer remembered, destroyed what reminded them of beauty, and mirrored the sorrow of their maker. Pain was their foundation, cruelty the language. Yet in every act of destruction, a silent echo of what once was could sometimes be glimpsed, a tragic reminder that darkness never exists in isolation. Even amidst endless work and battle, orcs occasionally paused, staring into shadows or firelight, unaware that a fragment of a past self lingered, a fleeting glimpse of memory they could not name. In rare moments, they trembled at the echo of song or the scent of green forests, as if the world itself whispered to them, reminding them of lost innocence. Their fires and forges shaped more than metal. They shaped the very rhythm of their lives. And in that rhythm, a story of loss and endurance was written, a story of creatures born in darkness, yet still tied to a light they could no longer see. Chapter 6: The Shadow Awakens Again. Centuries passed. The wars of the First Age faded into whispers and legend. Kingdoms rose and fell, and the free peoples of Low Realm rested. Peace spread slowly, yet beneath mountains and in hidden valleys, the orcs remained, patient, waiting, listening, and Zarok returned. Slowly, deliberately, he rebuilt his strength. Through shadow and silence, he whispered promises of fire, of dominion, of war. The orcs heeded his voice, not out of love, but out of fear, respect, and the memory of the darkness that had shaped them. As the forges of the dark abyss blazed once more, the orcs marched, their purpose reborn. Darkness spread, patient, inevitable, and enduring. They remembered the taste of smoke, the rhythm of hammers, the terror of past wars, and it shaped their loyalty, sharpening it into something unbreakable. Some orcs spoke little, yet their eyes reflected the fire around them, the burning drive to serve. Others sang their broken songs, a chorus of echoes from the first corruption, now twisted into worship of their dark master. And in the stillness between the clangs and roars of battle, the shadow itself seemed to breathe through them, alive and watchful. Chapter 7. Echoes Beneath the Earth. Even now, long after Zarek's fall, stories tell of drums beneath the hills. Voices whisper in forgotten tongues. Weapons lie abandoned, yet the memory of violence lingers in the air, heavy and quiet. Travelers sometimes feel it, eyes watching from unseen corners, footsteps echoing in empty caverns. The orcs may be gone, or they may only sleep, waiting for a time when shadows can once again rise. Darkness, in low realm, never dies, it only sleeps, patient and hungry, waiting for the right moment to stretch its fingers once more. In its slumber, it reminds us of something deeper. That light, once lost, can twist, warp, and return in forms unrecognizable. Yet still, somehow, it remembers what it once was. Even in silence, the weight of history presses down, a reminder of the cost of envy, pride, and fear. Some say that if you listen long enough in the caves, the faint echo of a hammer strike or the soft murmur of dark tongue may still reach your ears. And in those moments, you realize that even darkness has memory, and it endures beyond time, waiting for the world to once again remember it. Chapter 8. The Quiet Between Shadows. The world, you see, it slept beneath the illusion of peace. Kingdoms rebuilt, songs of victory filled the halls of men and elves, and the scars of war, they slowly faded beneath time's careful hand. The great fires of the orcs had cooled, their forges fallen silent, their drums buried deep below stone and memory. But not all silence is safety. In the far corners of the world, whispers stirred in secret once more, faint, patient, and so very deliberate. The darkness that had fled was not destroyed. No, it only learned to wait. Something unseen gathered strength beneath the calm, shaping itself not from flame this time, but from cunning. The world, it had forgotten that evil does not always return in wrath. Sometimes, it comes wearing the mask of wisdom. And somewhere, in the deep places where shadows still remembered their master's name, a single spark of will awoke again. The age of brute strength had ended. The age of subtlety was about to begin. So ends the tale of those forged in darkness, the orcs, born of cruelty and sorrow, shaped by fire and fear, and bound to a master both terrible and cunning. Even when their master fell, their memory lingered in the mountains and caverns of Low Realm, a reminder that darkness never truly dies. It only waits, patient and enduring, for the right moment to rise again. And from these ashes, a new story stirs, not of hammers and blades alone, but of whispered promises, rings of hidden power, and the temptation that lures even the proudest hearts. This is but a single story in the endless library of worlds, a tale of shadow, endurance, and the shaping of fate, with many more waiting to be discovered. Thank you for visiting the Adventure Library. May these stories stay with you wherever your path leads, and until we meet again, may your imagination roam free.